Here's your daily reminder that the Democrat Party and woke corporations think black people and brown people are too stupid or too helpless to have a photo ID to vote. Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where... Did I say Angela Soapbox? I have to catch myself. The Angela Box Show, where I always say what you were thinking. I think I just shot all my videos this week and used the wrong tagline, but whatever. Okay. The serial killing plastic straw for this video. Y'all, this is a classic example of these people think that it is still like last year or something like that. Like they are just being hit right, left, and center with their own words and their own actions. And it is a beautiful thing to watch consequences happen in real time. And this one is going to the disgusting mayor of Chicago, who's sitting on a 6% approval rating, Brandon Johnson. He's in a lot of trouble with the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. Let's discuss. Okay, so last week, this is so funny. Lori Lightfoot, if you'll remember who Lori Lightfoot was, Beetlejuice, as she was affectionately called. She was the mayor of Chicago for like 8 million years, it seemed like. And finally, when she went away, it's Brandon Johnson comes along and he's like, hold my beer for how awful a mayor of Chicago can be. And he's been really bad. Like so bad that his approval rating is sitting at 6%. Every weekend, like there's, so much black on black homicide and black on black crime that they don't even report on it. They don't even it's not even a blip on the radar of the local news. That's how many people get murdered over every weekend in Brandon Johnson, Chicago. Well, he's like, let me double down on this stupidity. And he was at a church a couple weeks ago, and he basically let the cat out of the bag that he essentially only hires black people for major roles in his administration. And everyone is like, come again, what? I'm gonna let you hear what he said, parts of it. It's about a minute or so of what he said. And Harmeet Dillon was like, we have a problem, sir. So hang on, be right back.
Lourdes Mayor Brandon Johnson routinely brags about what he's doing for black Chicagoans, but today the Justice Department said he may have broken the law. Today, the Trump administration announced it's investigating Chicago over race-based discrimination. At issue, comments Mayor Brandon Johnson made yesterday at the Apostolic Church of God in Woodlawn. Addressing the black church, Johnson listed black officials serving in his administration.
The deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a black man.
That set off a firestorm on social media, catching the attention of conservative commentators and media. And so today, the Trump administration has opened an investigation to see whether the Johnson administration may have violated Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In a letter to Johnson, the DOJ's Civil Rights Division said, when the Attorney General has reasonable cause to believe that a state or local government employer is engaged in a pattern or practice of discrimination in violation of Title VII, it is the Attorney General's responsibility to take appropriate action to eliminate the violation, including seeking injunctive relief. Our investigation is based on information suggesting you made hiring decisions solely on the basis of race. The Justice Department notes it has not reached any conclusions, but it wants to learn more about the city's hiring decisions.
Having people in my administration that will look out for the interest of everyone, and everyone means you have to look out for the interests of black folks, because that hasn't happened. That's how we ensure long-term sustainable growth.
The next step is for the city to respond to discuss parameters of the investigation. We reached out to Mayor Johnson's office for comment, and we've not heard back.
So Brandon Johnson is, he's coming to jumping up when Harmeet Dillon basically said, we're going to be looking into your hiring practices over here at the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice. Because I know black people think that they can't be racist against whites or other people, but that's simply a foul. It's ridiculous. Of course they can. In fact, so many black people I know are way more racist than white people, like on any given day. But anyway, Brandon Johnson is in a lot of trouble. He seems to think that this kind of nonsense isn't going to be taken seriously now. And it is going to be taken seriously. In fact, he's trying to act like that, well, look, in my administration, I've got, this is so funny, the news story that I showed you, they like trying to present a defense to his outrageous race-based hiring. He's like, well, you know, in my administration, we have 34% black, 30% white. It's like, hang on. I mean, I know you guys are the king and queen of quotas and all that. And if we're doing quotas, we have to look at the actual population, right? Now, I don't know the actual population makeup of Chicago, but I guarantee you it's probably more than 30% white, okay? So if you're really just going based on quotas and filling a box depending on what race is allotted out in Chicago, like, you're in a lot of trouble. First of all, you can't hire someone based on race. You can't do that. And then this joker, like, going to church and being like, feels like he is in complete solidarity with the people around him. So much so that he's like, I'm gonna let the little cat out of the bag on what I'm doing in Chicago. Oh, we're only hiring black people to have in higher positions. And again, the people are like, you can't do that. Something else that's very, very interesting, and, you know, this week in Black Fatigue. So that was funny. And then this other thing that's funny is that Lizzo, who is sporting remember when Fat Lizzo walked around going, I'm beautiful, I'm black, I'm beautiful, I'm body positivity. She was the queen of body positivity. Well, the weirdest thing happened, and she, you know, I'm sure she didn't take the shot or anything like that, but she's lost, like, I don't know, 200 pounds or something crazy, and she's walking around trying to look all like buff. And to be honest, like, she looks a lot better than she used to for sure, but she still could lose another, 150, which just gives you that woman was gargantuan huge, out of control. And now all of a sudden she's like going to pose with the angry black lady statue in New York City. And it's like, oh, that's just what New York City needs, another angry black woman. She's like this. I'm like, yeah, you kind of look just like her, but okay. Here's what's funny about Lizzo. Something resurfaced recently that that her music, she doesn't write music for white people. And it's like, well, I mean, I guess, she doesn't write music for thin people either, but I digress. But it is funny that Lizzo is now clearly taking the shot, okay? And she's yet another celebrity that, like, won't be honest about what they're doing. Like, I love the shot, okay? I've lost 20 pounds. It's creeping back up, but, kind of kept it off, and it's great. And it's a great way to maintain your weight. If you can afford it, if you don't have any health issues, do it. It's obviously a game changer for so many people, but the fact that she won't admit to it is like, this is the problem I have with you. That's why I can't take you seriously, heifer, because you will just continue to lie and say things like that your music is just for white people. It's like, between you and Brandon Johnson and, the 5-year anniversary of St. George Floyd of fentanyl, like, I don't know who's more obnoxious, but I just think it's really, really, there's a new sheriff in town. Harmeet Dillon doesn't play. Pam Bondi doesn't play. And, Brandon Johnson, he's like, oh, Trump's a monster for coming after me. We have such an inclusion. We're for inclusion. And, Donald Trump is trash and he doesn't like inclusivity and blah, 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 blah. Again, did you hire people based on race, Brandon? If you did, and if there is, I don't know, memos purporting that you did that, or that's what we're looking to hire, you're going to be charged, okay? And you're probably going to go to jail, which all of Chicago will stand up and cheer. At least 94% of Chicagoans will stand up and cheer. So, it's not 2023, it's not 2022. Like, new sheriff, man, and we're not playing with that mess anymore, and thank God for that. All right, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. That will be done. Bye.